Part 3, Chapter 1, Horon. What's not to like? I'm a handsome guy. I'm a good height and sleek. I have this smooth, paper white skin and look like I was carved out of marble. And how about these attractive fin ears? Not to toot my own horn, Karak, but cough, cough, I'm a babe magnet. Horon Vesser to his boss, Kurak Kur, before he first went over to talk to Elasa Thrala 3 months ago. Aspel, Second Galaxy. Horon Vesser was a tall, white-skinned man with fin-like ears and sleek, beautiful features. His cat-like eyes were vibrant purple. His short hair was silvery blue. At 23, the young Vesser felt like he had a bright future ahead of him, and not only because he was sitting at Skydome Restaurant in Ambrew City tonight, with a Florian woman who he felt had no rival in looks or personality. Horon was an alien among the Florians of Aspel. He was a Kashna. Despite this, he knew little of his homeworld or culture. His parents didn't talk much about the Kashna Star Kingdom, or the ways of their people. Some past drama had come between the Vessers and their homeland. Despite the fact that Horon was alien, he had always thought himself as a loyal Florian citizen, and he liked to think that he was something of a ladies' man. Still, he was astonished that Elasa Thrala, a Florian girl with few peers, had even given him the time of day. He didn't dare show it, though. They'd met at Horon's work 3 months back. Things were going really well. Tonight was a celebration of their first 100 days as a couple, and Horon had gone all out, booking them at Skydome, one of the most expensive restaurants in the city. Elasa deserved it, of course, and Horon could afford it. Luckily enough, 3 years ago, Horon had sold a script to one of the biggest vid production companies on Aspel. What had followed was a whirlwind introduction into the Aspel vid industry. Horon had quickly been noticed by a leading producer, Kurak Kur, and over the past 3 yevs, they'd produced 3 popular feature-length vids together. 3 months ago, while wrapping up his most recent production at Reba Studio, Horon and Elasa had met. She'd been working on another project, but had admitted to being a follower of Horon's work. In the same way he'd plunged headfirst into his career, so it had been in his relationship with Elasa. Things were going great. No problems whatever. Unless you counted the fact that Elasa was opposed to Horon doing a tour of duty with the Aspel Defense Force. Horon didn't want to think about that. Tonight was supposed to be a good time at Skydome. The restaurant was new, a dome set atop one of the new floating buildings that had gone up over the last 2 yevs in the growth of the booming economy. The glass dome that covered the garden-like restaurant gave an unobstructed view of the glittering lights of the capital of Ambrew. It was a perfect place to spend a happy evening. Horon and Elasa arrived at the restaurant by way of air taxi. They were let out onto a balcony on the edge of the Skydome. Horon was wearing a nice dark suit that stood out against his snowy skin. Elasa's small form was wrapped in a red gown. Her black hair was up in a neat bun, and her blue eyes were glittering with excitement behind her wire-frame glasses. The Florian girl hooked an arm through one of Horon's long arms, and, grinning up at him, they started for the doors of the Skydome. Passing through the doors, they entered a garden area with fresh-smelling green plants and marble planters. A fountain trickled with water. At the front desk, Horon and Elasa were met by a red-haired Florian woman. "Do you have a reservation?" she asked. "Yes." "Name, please." "Horon Vesser." The woman checked her computer. "Yes," she said. "We have you here." She turned to her right to a dark-skinned Florian woman. "Clonny will take you to your table." The Florian waitress bowed politely and then guided Horon and Elasa through winding stone pathways past planters full of green plants and colorful flowers. Tables were tucked into the little nooks among trees and planters. Horon and Elasa were seated at a white marble table by the glass wall of the dome. They had a beautiful, clear look out of the city below. Clonny gave them menus and said, "I'll come back and check on you in a little bit." She walked away. "This place is amazing," Elasa said, her pretty face bright with excitement after the waitress was gone. "How did you get us in here? I thought the waiting list was backed up for months." "To tell you the truth," Horon said, his fin ears twitching, "I asked Kurak for help. Despite the money I've made on vids, Kurak still has way better connections than me." Elasa chuckled. "Well, give it some time and you'll have all the connections you could hope for. You're on the way up, Horon." She grimaced and added, "You shouldn't break the momentum." Horon winced. He didn't want to go here. Not tonight. Tonight was supposed to be special. What do you mean by that? He asked, the nostrils of his flat nose flaring, his pride not allowing Elassa's comment to just pass by. Of course he knew what she meant by it, and by the look she gave him, she knew he knew it too. Let's just not talk about it tonight, Elassa tried. No, Horon pressed with an edge. I mean, you want to talk about it. You brought it up. Let's talk about it. Go on. Elassa's lips pressed into a tight line. You know how I feel. I do. And I don't understand why you can't understand how I feel about this. Giving service is a part of my family's heritage. I want to as well. Besides that, it's only 2 yevs. In this industry, Horon, 2 yevs is a lifetime. You'll come back and some new, young, creative mind will have captured everyone's attention. Do you know how hard it will be to get back what you have now? So it'll be hard. I'll deal with it. I just want you to be happy. And you don't think I'll be happy doing what I want to do. You don't want to join the defense force. You're just doing it because it's expected of you. Oh! So now you know what I want and don't want, Horon snapped. Elassa frowned. I know what I don't want. I don't want to sit here in this beautiful place and have you yelling at me. Good night, Mr. Vesser. Horon stared after Elassa, watching her leave. He knew he should have gone after her. He knew he should have called her back. His pride wouldn't let him. Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, and share with your friends, and there are more episodes on the way.